Hey there. I'm Jared Blunt. I'm the associate pastor here at Emmanuel Enid, and today we're with Troy Cowley. And Troy is one of our community group leaders. He works on our deacon service committee, and he's heavily involved in our church. And he had something dear to his heart that he really wanted to share with everybody. And so we're going to talk about that here for a little bit. But Troy, would you start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure, Jared, I will. My background is 35 years plus with OG&E, and I retired in 2018, and now I work for Anderson Burris Funeral Home and Crematory part-time. I've been with them for 7 years, and during this time that I was with OG&E, I heard that people were having lots of issues, with if they've lost somebody or somebody became incapacitated. And now I'm even hearing it as a part-time worker at the funeral home, and there's things that need to be done to help these people. While I was with OG&E, I worked with several nonprofit organizations that provided help for people in need. And so that's kind of my background right now.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, that's great to hear. And so as we were talking about this, we're kind of titling the interview, if you will, What We All Need to Know.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and why we all need to know this information?
Well, a little bit more information on that is in my early years growing up, I am in the baby boomer category, and we were taught by our parents and grandparents that the grandfather, dad, or the patriarch of the house took care of everything that the family needed. And that's not the case nowadays. That included bank accounts, the home insurance, vehicles, utility bills, and even much more. And during this time, nobody else was added to it.
Yeah.
And so now it's a different story. But back then, everybody in the small towns, I grew up in a small town, everybody knew everybody. We knew the bankers, we knew the insurance agents, we knew the utility people, stuff like that, because we all lived in the same town, we all went to the same schools, we attended the same churches, and we turned around and we attended the same community events. So it was a community. We all knew each other, and wow, that has changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so looking at that, seeing through the years what has changed, is there anything more specific that you think has contributed to this? What has caused the change over the years?
Yeah, there is, Jared. In the 1960s, about 1964, kind of when all this started just a little bit, excuse me, in the 1964 there was a word coined called identity theft.
Okay.
Well, in the small community stuff, we didn't know a lot about that. It was just kind of something that happened. But then in 1995 into 2001, major changes. 95 was the Murrah building bombing. 2001 was the Twin Towers taken down. The Pentagon had a plane into it. Another plane crashed in a Pennsylvania field. And gosh, that changed everything. Our way of life and everything changed then. And so at that time, we didn't know anything about login identification, passwords, HIPAA laws, everything like that. We didn't know a thing about that. Mm-hmm. But now, since that happened, it has changed, and we've got to change with it. We've got to help protect our parents and grandparents, and even us as kids have to help do that. And so, it's changed immensely. Now, if you go to help grandpa and grandma or mom or dad, you got to have some written prior approval to do it. Okay. You just can't go into the bank like I used to in small Drummond, Oklahoma, and go in and say to Mr. Harrell, "Hi, how are you? I need help to help Dad. He wants me to do this with his checking account or whatever." We could do it back then. Now you can't. You can't do it.
Yeah. So what is there that we can do as whether we're parents getting up in age or even, as we talked about earlier, you don't even have to be very old to start preparing for this because we never know when that accident could happen. But if we're a parent or even as a child trying to help our elderly parents or something get everything in line, what can we do to help with that?
Well, what we should all do is make sure if our mom and dad's listed, that both of them are on every account. Make sure that.
Okay.
Because that will save time if something happens. And so that's one thing we need to do. And make sure those are important documents. Make sure it's the house, bank, insurance, vehicles, everything that has to do with that. Make sure that both spouses are on there. And I've run into some spouses that they're still back when my parents were living, that it's still one person on there. And so nowadays we never know when God will call us home or if we'll be in an accident and be incapacitated or whatever. So we need to make these arrangements before those things happen. And so that way we can take care of mom or dad's business and take care of their property and stuff and help them out as needed to. Now, for me, I personally found this out when my father passed away. My dad passed away, and I didn't realize that he was on everything. Mom wasn't on anything.
Yeah.
And so when he passed away, Mom and I were making arrangements to have Dad's funeral and everything. So we go back and we start looking through the accounts and everything, and I'm going, uh-oh, Mom's not on any of these things. So here started about a 3 to 4 week journey of trying to get Mom's name added to everything, while at the same time we were making arrangements for the end of the week to have my dad's funeral. And to be truthful with you, it took a lot. Mm-hmm. They wanted proof that Mom and Dad was married. They wanted proof that they lived in the same house. One of the easiest things for me was OG&E. I worked for OG&E, and that was a 30-minute process, and Mom was added to the bill. ONG, very, very easy to work with. The other utilities, easy to work with, but then you had the bank accounts.
Yeah.
We had to make, we had to get letters written. We had to wait on death certificates to get here. And with Mom, should have been added years ago, wasn't. It took a tremendous amount of time to get this done when Mom and I should have been grieving. And I find other people that are doing this. That's one reason I wanted to do this, to tell people that they need to get this done before something happens. And if you already have a spouse that is lost or whatever, talk to your mom.
Yeah.
Or your dad, whichever one's living, and talk to the rest of the family and see who would be great to add to your living mom or dad, and add them on there too. That way, God forbid something happens to them, you've got somebody that can step up and take charge and take a hold.
In closing, is there anything else, any good information that you think we need?
Yes, I think you do. During my time with OG&E, like I told you, I've worked with several different nonprofit groups and everything. And two that come to mind to me right now is one group that's here in Enid. It's RSVP. That's the Retired Senior Volunteer Program. Those people have tons of information, and they work with seniors involved in what we're just got through talking about all the time. And they can give you help. Their phone number is 580-233-5914, and the lady in charge of it is Christy Baker. So please give them a call. And then the other one that everybody knows about, or that we should be paying attention to, is our nationwide, statewide number 211. And you can call 211, and that's an Oklahoma Information Helpline. Now, something, if you love to play with computers, love to work on computers, you can go to your Google site on your computer, you can just put 211 in, hit enter. It will bring up 211 Oklahoma. When it brings that up, it will give you a space that you can put your zip code in. And you put your zip code in, and it will tell you all the resources that are involved in that county that you lived in or that town you lived in. And so those are things that people need to start doing, but the whole thing starts with, how can I help? What do I need to do?
Yeah. Well, Troy, thank you so much for coming and sharing this with us. I know so many of us need that information. And another resource, through Oklahoma Baptist, they have a organization called Water's Edge, and they actually will help draw up a will for you for free. They have different resources, and they would love to help you. You can contact our office, and we can direct you to that, or you can just get online and Google search it through Oklahoma Baptist and Water's Edge, and they would help you out. Again, thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
time, and thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.